So let's get into A4. A4 I call the advanced calculator. It's not really an advanced calculator. It's two calculators in one. Maybe I need to work on the name of this assignment. But basically, we're taking what you did in assignment 3, which is to build a calculator. And now we're going to do we're going to give the user a choice between two calculators. So some of you asked me, well, I'm doing a Fahrenheit to Celsius, but what if I want to ask the user whether they want to do Fahrenheit to Celsius or Celsius to Fahrenheit? Now's your big opportunity. So a few things we're going to work on. Obviously, we're going to use conditional branching here. You're going to allow the user to choose between them. I want to work on making the program look nice and user-friendly. I would like it if you want to challenge yourself. It's not required at this point, but for a challenge, if you would make sure that the user is entering valid numbers by checking them. Now, you are somewhat limited because if I say I want to do like Fahrenheit to Celsius calculator and I enter Bob as my Fahrenheit temperature, you really don't have a way of going back and asking them again. It would just be like, that's not good input, and then the program would basically end at that point. And so that's a limitation. Next week, we're going to talk about loops. And at that point, you can say, try again, try again, try again, until they get it right. And now we're getting into the point where we can really force the user, if they want to interact with our program, to enter something useful. We're not quite there yet, and that's part of the reason why I'm not requiring the data checking or the value checking. But I would like you to work on the user interface a little bit. So in terms of planning the program, what I want us to do is structure the program like this. And I'm a visual person, so a lot of the time when I'm creating a new program, I will sit down with a napkin or on my iPad or whatever and a pencil, and I'll draw something like this so I can kind of visually see how the program fits together. So when we start the program, we're going to present the user with some kind of a menu that says, press 1 for this, press 2 for that. And if they choose 1, then underneath that, we're going to get their input, right, the numbers. We're going to do the calculation, output the results. This was assignment 3. Get the input, do the calculation, output the results, right? You recognize that. So all we're doing is we're taking a bigger structure of an if, elif, else, and we're saying we're going to put assignment 3 under that, and we're going to put assignment 3, but a little different, under this one. And then over here, let's say if I say press 1 for this, press 2 for that, if they say 3, I'm going to say, that's not one of the choices. And the program is just going to end at this point, right? We don't do loops yet. We don't know they exist. So we're just going to end the program. But at least we're getting started with some of this. Now, how do you approach this? Because it feels like a lot more than what we've done so far. Am I right? So here's some tips. We're going to start, and I'm going to walk you through this part of it. We're going to start by creating the structure of the program using comments, using only comments. And then we're going to work from the big idea to the specifics. So from general down to the specifics. We're going to test as we go. This is just a personal preference, but leaving yourself some white space. We got some folks in the class who like their code all scrunched, and I respect that you want to see everything on one screen. But leaving yourself some breathing room is a lot easier to see what's going on. And this is where people start freaking out a little bit, I will warn you. And going to the Google or heading out to ChatGPT and saying, hey, give me some code for this. Resist the urge. Resist the urge at this point in the class to do that, because this is really early in the class to be having that kind of freak out. Push through, learn how to do this stuff, and then you'll be a lot better off down the road. There might come a point in time where getting a little help isn't too bad. But right now it would be cutting the legs out from under yourself in terms of just being able to learn. So